right. Good morning. Hi, David. It's nice to see you.
Hey, morning. Good to see you. I see you're in your car. Are you
Yeah,
somewhere comfortable, somewhere nice?
exactly. So welcome everyone for to the third weekly huddle at HIPTHER'S. This show is live and now we're broadcasting from an airport in Transylvania. I'm in the car right now picking up somebody from the airport. They are waiting in the lounge. So yeah, we could not stay away from our show. So our special guest today is David Mann, CEO of Swintt. David, before we dive into the morning show, let's give an introduction of yourself and talk about Swintt. Say a few words for the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me here. Of course, it's always a pleasure to be involved with you guys. So yeah, I'm David Mann. I'm the CEO of Swint. We are a game provider, sitting comfortably in the market amongst some of our partners, and we've been around for it's about 4.5 years now in the market. We've specialised in producing and delivering a whole range of game content, coming from slots developed in-house to localized specific content that we develop for certain markets, as well as a live dealer product we deliver. Regulated markets are our focus, and we look to be entering many new regulated markets next year. We've really upgraded and scaled our technology stack, and yeah, we're really excited to be moving into 2024.
Yeah, like everyone, and yeah, we've been covering the news for with your releases, and congratulations. It has been a busy year for you guys.
Yeah, yeah. I think I can't even count the amount of games that we've released this year. But yeah, it's been a really, really excellent year for us. I think what's also been really exciting is on the sales side, where we've managed to really smash all of our targets, signing some massive names, and it just creates a big pipeline of amazing operators that we can start delivering our content to far and wide. So yeah, a great year, and it's going to set us up for an even better year next year.
All right. So before we dive into our topic today, which is the Christmas theme slots, let's just comment on the news which are happening because that's the tradition of the weekly huddle. So as you may know, the gambling regulator in Denmark fined an individual for 100,000 Danish coronas. So David, with the recent news of the Denmark's gambling regulator finding an individual for advertising online games, what are your thoughts on the importance of regulatory compliance in the online gambling industry and online gambling sphere, like for the B2C as well? And how do you think this action might influence the industry approach to advertising and promotion, especially in regulated markets like Denmark?
Yeah, I mean, I think regulated markets are, I mean, they're important, right? It's all about player protection. It's about ensuring that our business and our industry is managed and handled in a really fair, transparent, reputable, responsible way. So we do move into an ever more regulated environment within the industry. Gone are the days of single license getting you access to so many different countries so easily. There can be a lot of nuance in trying to accommodate and understand the complexities of widely different regulations across the landscape. But yeah, I guess it's the crucial point there is that we want to make sure that players are protected and they're able to enjoy and play in a responsible manner. And when you see advertising promotions in regulated markets, that's where it's easy to fall foul of the law. And I think it's you have to be conscious of what you're doing, and you have to be careful, and you obviously have to make sure that whatever you're promoting, it's within them within the eyes of the law. It's going to be okay. So I think it's a really it's quite a big penalty, but that's the price you pay,
All
pun
right.
intended.
So jumping from Denmark, we go to France, where the ANJ, the Autorité Nationale des Jeux, I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. I'm not good at French. So has they commissioned PricewaterhouseCoopers to carry out a study into what is available in France and consumable habits. So in order to combat illegal online gambling more effectively, the regulator has commissioned PricewaterhouseCoopers to carry out a study, and this study estimates that the gross gaming revenue, the GGR, generated by illegal gambling is between 748 million to 1.5 billion euros, or between 5 and 11% of the overall gambling market. So the scale and risks associated with illegal gambling justify even more vigorous actions to combat. I guess this gives an excuse for the regulator to do more, and it's in addition to they already being taken actions by the ANJ. So, David, what impact do you think this has on the legitimate operators like yourself in the market, and how important is it for the industry to collaborate with regulatory bodies such as the ANJ to address these challenges?
Yeah, France is one of those interesting markets, right? Because you have a really well established sports betting scene.
Yeah,
You know, the horse racing industry is massive in France, and it's one of those countries that it's just surprising that they haven't really shifted to accommodate online casino.
yeah,
You see the size of the black market, the numbers that you've quoted there. I think probably predominantly there's a lot of there coming from the casino industry because players can already legitimately place a sports bet. So it's just surprising they haven't moved to legislate for that. And I think it's kind of one of the final frontiers within the European landscape to see that market open up. I know there was some news articles I've seen recently, earlier this week, about some companies in France that were looking to try and secure a license for online gambling. In the online casino sector. And you know, ultimately, players are playing. There's crypto sites, there's black market license sites out there, and players will be playing regardless. So I think it's only logical for them to make the step to move towards that. I'm sure that you know, from an industry perspective, there's already a lobby there
yeah.
pushing to the French government. There's already been other discussions about a series of licenses given out to different companies over the next maybe 3 to 5 years. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. But you know, lessons learned from other regulated markets. I think it's important that the French regulator would at least listen to the industry. You know, I get that they might think there's some kind of bias there, but we can see in certain other regulated markets where the channelization is plummeting and players are going to the illegal sites anyway because it's so restrictive for them to play on regular and regulated casinos. So hopefully, yeah, we can kind of collaborate together between the industry, between the regulator, you know, all stakeholders having the ability to make our voice heard.
It's funny that that just came to me that last week we were hosting the quarterly meetups and we were speaking about Brazil, and everybody was so eager to see how the parliament is going to vote. And yeah, it got stalled, right? So they announced that they will vote when, in next year or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. All eyes are on Brazil at the moment. I think that's where everybody's looking just now.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, everybody's of course interested to see a country of that size and you know sports fanatics as well.
Yeah,
Which direction they're going to go.
because the new law, like you mentioned, in terms of regulating sports betting and casino, it's something new because they want to license both at the same time, which is something good
Yeah,
when it goes through.
yeah,
So coming back
absolutely.
to Europe and going to the UK now, the Gambling Commission has launched a new Tell Us Something in confidence service to make it easier to report criminal or suspicious activities anonymously online. So the Tell Us Something in Confidence service should be used to report activities such as match fixing, sports betting integrity, underage gambling, money laundering concerns, suspicious activities, online says gambling, and criminal activities. So this new service provides a one-stop service allowing users to anonymously upload supporting information connected to the report, such as photographs and documents, and users can also send further information by email or post. So how do you think this will impact the industry's approach to integrity and compliance in the UK? And also, could this lead to a more proactive role for companies like Swintt in supporting such regulatory initiatives?
The UK, the Gambling Commission are, long established. The UK regulation's been around for quite a long time for online, and everybody's kind of waiting to see the eventual white paper that the government are apparently preparing to see how things are going to change within the UK. Because there's not really been any firm action going on, but um, I suppose one of the elements you might see from this kind of tele service is the ability for the Gaming Commission to identify more unregulated and unlicensed operators. This could be from, let's say, proactive, people looking out there trying to identify different sites where players shouldn't be playing for the UK rather than licensed operators. And you might well get those players who have played on an unregulated casino lose all their money and then kind of, how would you say, tell on the casino. And
Yeah,
then obviously the
exactly.
Gaming Commission can try and take actions to stop it. And the Gambling Commission can be quite, forward in trying to shut down any illegal activity within the UK. So this could make it easier for them. Ultimately, let's say, make it better for players. And similar to what I just mentioned before, so long as there's enough freedom for players to be able to enjoy the games in the right way, they don't feel that they have to go through any black market sites because I don't know they're unable to deposit the amount of money or they're unable to play a certain amount of money. Then I think then ultimately should kind of benefit for the wider industry, especially in the UK. And then, yeah, from a public perspective, then of course it's more money, more tax money coming in when it's through licensed operators. I suppose companies like Swintt can be proactive in this by, obviously keeping a kind of monitoring approach as well, and any kind of feedback or comments that we can see to share to the regulator as well. I think there's already quite a lot of this in the UK, especially from different types of casino sites and forums where you see quite an active player community where they are trying to, of course, push back on how do you say black market operators within the UK because of dodgy or nefarious practices. So there's already quite a good bit here, and I think this could obviously could help them with their good work.
All right. So before we dive into the Christmas theme slots questions, just want to ask, what does a Swint mean? Because it's such a interesting name for a company.
It doesn't really have a meaning per se. There was a bunch of names created at the start of the process, and there was some interesting thoughts in there. And if you look at it, well, it has win in the name, so anybody who's playing Swint is a winner.
All right.
But yeah, it's distinctive, it's iconic. So we're happy to have quite an original name where there's, to be honest, there's so much competition out there. There's a lot of games and a lot of studios out there with names which are quite generic. So at least we have
Yeah,
something that
exactly.
stands out from the crowd.
Yeah, it does. So it's good. Yeah, the light went out, but I can still
Yes,
see you.
good,
Okay.
good.
Okay. So, in your expert opinion, what's more crucial for a successful Christmas lot? Having more reindeers or more elves? And why?
I'm a big fan of having lots of both, to be honest.
Haha.
And I think that if you're not going to have reindeers or elves, then you're going to have Santa, but really he should be there anyway.
Yeah,
So I think getting the whole cast and making sure they're all there. I suppose who's making the prizes, the elves, or who's delivering the prizes, the reindeers from Santa. So I'm a big fan of getting as many Christmas elements. Oh, the lights are back. I am in Malta, right? It's prone to power cuts. So,
okay.
um, yeah, but I like getting a bit of everything in a Christmas slot.
All right. Yeah, because the idea came up to have this episode about Christmas slots because last week the craziness started again with the slots releases that are Christmas themed, and I think it's slowly becoming something as a tradition, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think seasonal content always has its place, but Christmas is the big holiday and event of the year. Even, different cultures who maybe celebrate Christmas at different times. This holiday period in December, with the big spending, and it's a really good time for players. So yeah, I think it's just getting more and more important in the calendar and the roadmap for companies to release these Christmas games.
All right. So we've seen everything from Santa in shades to Rudolph with a nose. So bring it. So and it the like Rudolph's nose was so bright that it could land planes and stuff like that. And what's the wildest Christmas slot theme that crossed your desk? And did it make the cut?
Um, so yeah, probably the wildest is one that we did release previously, and it was Santa versus Aliens.
Oh
So
yeah.
basically, the aliens have come and they're interrupting Christmas, and Santa's a man on a mission, so he needs to make sure those presents are delivered, and he's there to a big muscly, strong Superman kind of Santa is there to save the day, and we went with it. I think it had a really fun, and engaging kind of theme, a bit different in a kind of very Christmassy range of slots where yeah you get more traditional types of games. But we thought Santa versus Aliens was really fun, and yeah, we were quite happy to release that game as well.
All right. So Jingle Bells is definitely the soundtrack for this Christmas theme slot. So so about this Jingle Bells soundtrack, is it a slot staple or is just an easy way to make players think they're winning even when they are not? So what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, the Christmas sounds are iconic, just as iconic as certain slots sound. So the kind of bells that you get that ring when you get a big wing, you can do the same with Christmas games. So it helps create the theme. It creates the whole aura and the feel around a Christmas game to have that kind of festive music, and we all associate it from TV adverts to radio tunes to different songs that we hear at Christmas time. It's unavoidable if you leave your house, then all you're going to hear is Christmas songs, or maybe in your house if you're a big fan of Christmas songs as well. So I think it's good to get players engaged with it, and I think what's always interesting with Christmas games is we've seen quite often Christmas games lasting beyond the festive period. So, players are enjoying. Maybe we have a game Golden Reindeer, and it's every year we obviously try and push it to operators, and it really performs well. It's always been one of our most popular games around the Christmas time. But we will still see players in this game into January, into February, because they like it. Maybe they have a real attachment to Christmas. And if they have a good experience in the game, of course, they're going to keep playing it. So, yeah, I think the Christmas theme, the Christmas feel, it can last way beyond Christmas. And I'm sure I'm not the only slot studio out there who sees the numbers coming from Christmas games long after the holidays have ended and we're all back to work and the magic is over.
All right. So if our audience wants to view the recent slots releases, we have a special newsletter on LinkedIn and on EuropeanGaming.eu where we create a full list on every Friday of all the slots games that are released on that week. So make sure to subscribe to that. So David, do you think that players have a better chance of hitting the jackpot if they wear an ugly Christmas sweater while playing? Or is this an insider tip that you might give away?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of an ugly Christmas jumper. I'm not wearing mine today, sadly, but I think Christmas jumpers are just good to get everybody in the mood, in the spirit.
Right?
Yeah, it's a positive feeling, right? If you have positive vibes, and I think then luck is smiling on you when you can make your own luck and you have a positive outlook. So yeah, maybe the Christmas jumper can give you the perception of everything's fine because it's Christmas time. Um, yeah, any other insider tips? Yeah, just if you see Santa, then ask him for a help, or hopefully he can give you a nice slot experience from his lucky sack of gifts. That would probably be my tips. Yeah.
All right. So just a provocative question now. If Santa Claus had his own slot machine, what unique bonuses features would it have?
Yeah, good question. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's everything around Christmas. You've got the Advent calendar, so you have the daily surprise if you never know what's going to come. And then it always culminates in, the bigger gift on the 24th or the 25th in the Advent calendar. So, probably for Santa, it's all about getting that slow build up in the bonus round before hitting the mega win right at the end and getting the big crescendo of presents. And there'd probably be Rudolph and all of his reindeer would be involved. Yeah, and then maybe a global tour as well. Santa gets around, his passport must be getting renewed regularly. He must have a 1,000-page passport.
Okay. So another question about, are there any New Year Eve team slots?
I think I may have seen a couple of kind of New Year celebration slots. I think at this stage, if there's a theme, then there's a slot around it.
I think it would be a good idea
Probably,
because, yeah, like you said, that if you come with the Christmas theme, with the Santa and the Advent calendar and the bigger bonus on the 24th, it could be a good idea to have a big countdown in the end of the year.
yeah, yeah, exactly. New Year's a big tradition and a big part of Scottish culture is around New Year and Hogmanay, as we call New Year's Eve. So yeah, there's probably room in the market for I don't know, Book of New Year. There we go. There's a slot for the New Year's theme.
All right, I'm waiting for my commission then. Okay, so last but not least, how do you balance keeping the Christmas spirit alive in your games without making them look like a holiday clearance sale at the department store? Because we all know how that looks like.
Well, I think I mean, some people love the holiday clearance sale, right? And I think some people like the over the top mega Christmassy feel. I think we usually try and go for a bit more of a fun feel in our Christmas games and try to keep them quite light, seasonal, but not over the top. But I'm sure there's room for players who want that kind of theme. There's quite a few there who have very traditional style that look like an old Christmas card from your grandma. But they work, right. I think there's an audience for every kind of game. So fundamentally, you want to make sure it's a good experience. The maths are solid, and the whole composition of the game really works and ties together. And if you can try and squeeze in a bit of Christmas cheer in there, then it's even better.
All right, so this would be a closing question. Going to ask, how are you going to spend your holidays? I know that conferences are finally over, right? Is it it?
Yeah. We're into the fun time of December now. So I'm actually going for a quick holiday from tomorrow. I'm going over to New York to see all the Christmas lights and the trees. Spend a bit of time in New York, and then I'm also going to be in back in Scotland to see family and have the typical Christmas experience. It's different being in Malta when it's around 20 degrees and there's palm trees compared to being around 0 degrees in Scotland at Christmas time and everything's frozen. It has a very different feel. And for me, it's always nice to be at home around my family at Christmas time.
All right. So any special messages you would like to send out now with this before we close?
Yeah, I hope everybody has a fantastic Christmas. We have our Christmas party tonight. So I'm looking forward to a good bit of cheer before my holiday. And I hope all your viewers obviously are going to enjoy December and get to spend a good bit of time with family and friends.
All right. So thank you so much for your time, David. I'm wishing you happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, and already wishing you Happy New Year, and see you next year. It's not far away.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Oltan.
All
All the
right.
best. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a great time. Thank
Thank you. And
you.
thank you for our audience for joining us this week as well. We will be back next week on Thursday morning. We will talk about responsible gaming during the holidays. So take good care, everyone.